What's up, YouTube? I'm Joshua Terrio, and this is Trucking with the Riot. So today's topic, I want to tell you a little bit about the DOT physical. Any of you out there, excuse me, I have something in my eye. Anybody out there who's looking to become a trucker, as I am, will have to go through get a DOT physical to obtain your CDL Class A driver's license. So if this is a topic that you're interested in, which you probably are if you landed on this video, first and foremost, I'm going to ask you to like this video for the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you have any questions throughout the video, leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. Like for instance, this video is dedicated to a question asked by Core C. What to expect during a DOT physical. So if you're still here, like, comment, also subscribe to my channel and ring the post notification bell so whenever I do post a new video, you'll be able to see it. So here we go. DOT physical. I'm gonna pack up my dogs and I'm gonna head out there and I'm gonna let you guys know. So if you're still here, hey, truck with me.
No license or registration, I drive with no hesitation through your space in my fucking spaceship, past the cops and they never say shit. My heart has no palpitation, I'm Murdoch of the fucking 18. Pull a Glock, I got the ray beam, the red dot and it's erasing all the thoughts that drive me crazy, and I pull off like I got my station. A lot of y'all talk but never say things, so I'm not there for the conversation.
So I made it here, and frankly I have to use the restroom, and I'm not particularly a fan of waiting, so I got in quicker than I was supposed to, and they asked me for some paperwork from the school, but it turns out that this specific school has like a quick file account with them, so you can you don't have to have any specific paperwork. This is the only paperwork that the school gave me was my date, so I'm here and the nurse is about to come in and we're gonna start this process, and I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're done and I'm about to head back home, but I had to stop and let the dogs use the bathroom. That's Artemis, my German Shepherd. She's awesome. And this is Nalabot. Yes, Nalabot. It's like Nala but a robot. So these are my dogs. If y'all have dogs, comment your dogs' names. And I love animals. I'm an animal lover. And hopefully I get to take these guys with me on the road. So I'm heading back home now, and when I get there I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of what actually the DOT physical consisted of.
So the DOT physical is a very thorough physical. Although it's not your primary care doctor most of the times that you go to. For instance, I'm going to coastal trucking school, and they assign me a doctor or urgent care to go to take this test. So it's not your primary care doctor. So one thing I do recommend before you head there, depending on the location. For instance, my location is a little bit over an hour away that I had to go and take my DOT physical, also a drug screen. I recommend that you don't hold your urine the entire time if you have a long trip. I got there and I had to use the bathroom. So there was a line, there was like 2 or 3 people ahead of me. Let's just say I went in before them, took my urine test, and started my DOT physical. So what to expect during the DOT physical? First, they give you this form to fill out. A lot of yes and no answers. I'd advise you to think of the questions really hard before you check yes, because this is a DOT physical. So every yes that you checked, they will thoroughly question you on that yes. It's not just some okay, that's good and check. No, they're gonna thoroughly question you. Some of the big questions that you might want to think before you say yes to is, have you ever spent time overnight in a hospital? Do you have sleep apnea? Have you ever failed a drug test? These are just some things you might want to think of because they're very thorough. For instance, I might have had my fingers crossed on some of them. I'm not gonna say, but one thing I will say is don't kill your chance of becoming a trucker before it even starts. So make sure you think before you check. So some of the questions, like for instance, have you ever spent the night in the hospital? They're going to grill you on what happened, this, and the third. Any surgeries, sleep apnea. Yeah, I mean, if you have these things, really think before you check yes. With that being said, after the paperwork, after they go through that file, the next thing that they're gonna do, and this is not in any specific order. These are just things that they do. Well, at least the one here has done. You have a vision test where you stand about 20 feet, 25 feet back, and they check your left eye and your right eye, and you have to read off of this board. Like line 7, forward one eye and backwards the other eye. And then after that, they take you back into the room, and you wait for a little while, and they'll come in and they'll do the basics, blood pressure, make sure you don't have high blood pressure. They check your ears, your eyes, the breathing thing. They check your breath, your breathing, to say the least. And they also have some interesting tests that you might want to look, that you might find amusing. So they have this one part where you have to face the wall, and the nurse or the doctor stands to the back of the room, and you have to raise your hand when you hear them. So they're standing in the back of the room while you're facing the wall, and they whisper something like hello, and you have to raise your hand, or goodbye. You have to raise your hand when you hear them, but they whisper really low just to check your hearing. Also, they like to check your peripherals, and this is like almost right after they do the vision test. They do check your peripherals. You're standing against the wall, your face against the wall, and they come behind you with a popsicle stick, and they like move it to your left, and it starts coming up on you, and you have to raise your hand when you see it, and they also do it to the right, and you have to raise your hand when they see it. They check your peripheral vision. They check your regular vision. After that, they want to check your strength and your flexibility. So you have to stand up and show them that you're flexible. Bend down. You have to touch your toes. Also, you have to do a complete squat. They check the range of motion on your bones, your joints. They check if you can turn side to side, so you're in a twisting. You're doing a little samba, and check the flexibility of your knees. And then they want to check your strength. So they'll make you ball a fist, and they'll push on your bones and your arms and your legs, and have you push back and seeing if you have enough strength. So one of the big things after doing my research is sleep apnea and like falling asleep at the wheel. So they will tape measure your neck, and I believe if it's over like 19 inches, you're at risk for sleep apnea, and also your body percentage of fat, or your BMI. If it's over 35, I think you're at a higher percentage of sleep apnea. Also, if you do have sleep apnea, from my research, that doesn't automatically take you off of the chance of obtaining your CDL license or passing the DOT physical. I did read that you can bring like records of your sleep apnea use if you're using like the machines and whatnot, or even a doctor's note saying that you're being compliant with the treatment that you do have for sleep apnea. So if you do have sleep apnea and you're going to a DOT physical, I suggest that you bring that documentation with you, or check no. But you didn't hear that from me. Another thing that they like to check is like your history of like mental health. Have you ever been knocked out? Have you ever had a concussion? or whatnot, or if you ever slept overnight in a hospital. I check yes on some of these things, which I've slept overnight in a hospital as a child, broken bones. Oh, they want to know if you broke bones and this and that. So check yes on some of them and had a thorough conversation. I may have my fingers crossed on some of these things because, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to kill my chances before I have the chance. You know what I'm saying? And overall, I'm generally healthy. Actually, I'm really healthy. I'm super healthy. Before this adventure or on my new journey, I stayed active. I've trained every day. I fought MMA. So I'm generally a healthy, strapping young man, you know. So that played a good factor into me passing my DOT physical. Now they will drug screen you there, and you will have the physical. The whole process took about an hour to 2 hours. It wasn't that long, but overall, I have to say for the DOT physical, what you can expect thorough questioning, and also just a little bit of physical activity. They also question memory and memory loss. So it's not just a check. They're going to check in a box and pass, because the DOT physical is something different, and they have strict guidelines that they have to follow, and they barely have any leeway to play around with when it comes to checking the health and wellness of a driver. So with that being said, that's what you can expect from the DOT physical. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. Actually, share it if you want. Comment down below and leave a comment. Oh, I just said that. Subscribe to my channel. So yeah, this is the riot, and I hope that this video gave you a little insight on the DOT physical, because this is just my experience, and also another step towards becoming a trucker. So in my journey, I completed my DOT physical, and for that I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I passed it. Also, another thing that's very important, don't do drugs, and if you have prescription drugs, you might want to bring your prescription with you, because you're going to have to pee in a cup. And yeah, so this is the riot, baby. This is Trucking with the Riot. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and most of all, truck with me, baby. Truck with me.
Contemplating on my compensation while slinging ink in this composition. Started at the bottom, but the top is right there. Me versus me is the competition. So no milk carton when the riot's missing. Don't get it twisted when I'm ascending. Man in the mirror is my opposition. Remember we both in the pot the piston. Didn't have change, but the change is coming. Light shows up in the darkest dungeons. Go hard on earth to the day I'm under.